Welcome back to the Professional Lovers Channel.
We're so glad that you're joining us tonight, and we're doing it on time this time. So, if you are new to our channel, we like to talk about marital issues through the lens of Married at First Sight. We've been married for 28 years, and a lot of what these couples are going through in building their friendships and relationships, we've actually experienced. We met later in life. We were in our 30s, and had, done our share of living.
True.
Up until then, came from two different backgrounds.
Very.
So, I mean, we can identify with a lot of the different issues, but I think we handled them in a way that was extremely different.
Totally different.
From what we have seen and are seeing right now. I tell you what, you've already said you're experiencing
anxiety. I mean, it because our communication styles are so different, and that we are just, I guess, willing, or when we first met, we were willing to just see what each other was about. The personality, the temperament. We took the opportunity and was objective enough to give each other the chance to express who they truly were.
I like that word, objective.
And that's what it is, objective. You don't know what this other individual that you're being introduced to, in this case being married to, is about. You know that there are some similarities, or there's something that professionals feel that was compatible between the two of you, but still you got to get to know the person. I mean, just because on paper it says that things should be great, that's for guys who gamble. According to their talent, this team should automatically win. That's not the case. That's real life. Reality has to be experienced. It can't just be assumed, or you can't have an automatic expectation of what an outcome should be.
And expectation is a key word as well.
Yeah.
And you go in with an expectation,
you're bound to be disappointed.
Okay, so you just kind of have to live each moment as it comes with an understanding that you really don't know this person.
Absorb it. You can't dictate it.
And you have to be open enough to learn the person however it comes at you. So tonight, I mean, I'm already saying, I don't know if I can watch this season, because not only do we have contention early among couples, but they have contention with each other.
Exactly.
And it seems to all revolve right now around not knowing how to communicate.
Yeah.
Or expecting that you understand my style of communication, and then when you don't reciprocate in like ways, then all of a sudden people taking things personally. That's the thing. People taking things personally, and you don't know each other.
Matter of fact, people are taking things personally from everyone other than the person that they should be getting it from.
Yeah, this whole thing of letting the family and friends get in your head. Now, it's one thing for family and friends to tell you. I don't understand this group's family and friends, frankly, because so often they're giving them all the negative, and they're not balancing it out with the positive.
Exactly.
So, Lindsay's friends and family have harped on, her...
You ever been gator
her
hunting?
lack of filter, and that is a communication style that is her. Excuse me. And and can cause some problems, as we've already seen.
Yes.
Okay, but when you don't know somebody, why are you going to take it personally?
Yeah.
They don't know you for you to take it personally.
How can you be offended by somebody you don't know? I mean, you may be offended by what they say, but is it directed at you? Is it intentionally something that's being said to get a rise out of you, or are they just expressing themselves? And the manner in which they're doing it may be offensive to you. But then again, that's part of getting to know you. And if you can tell a person, well, I understand what you're saying, but the manner in which you said it is offensive to me. And I just take that personally, and that's just the way I am. But again, that is an opportunity to get to know somebody and allowing them to get to know you.
Which is what I think Michael was trying to say. But before we do, we usually go in order. So we're going to get off our soapbox and we're just going to take each couple the way they came. First, Katina and Olajuwon. Mm-hmm. Feeling good about each other. But Olajuwon's a little pushy with the whole physical thing. He's been so used to getting physical right away that he's just kind of talking about he's going to be patient, but he's kind of getting pushy.
The baby's calling you.
Yeah, and again, Katina's cautiousness, mm-hmm. I don't blame you at all. I don't blame her at all for being cautious, because when Olajuwon describes what his past has been like, as she said, you don't just change overnight.
Yes.
And while you have changed your outlook from trying not to be completely self-centered, mm-hmm. and treating women like a dog, that's a good thing. But there are little subtleties that are still there.
Yeah. I mean, and that's just part of what he's done.
It's his habit.
Right. Exactly. Habit. And you don't change your spots overnight, period. You can wash, you can shower, you can even dip yourself. But eventually, whatever that exterior is that you're putting on, it's going to wear off, and your real self does come through.
And so when her guy friend, mm-hmm. kind of was checking him on his first impression, that, questioning him about why he was in this, because you come across as someone who likes attention. Mm-hmm. So are you in this for attention? Are you in this because you think it's going to blow you up? Because when you make comments like, well, I've never had a problem with the ladies. So, I don't have to worry about that. Another guy
reads into that.
Okay.
And basically he's looking out for his buddy. Katina is his girl, and he's the big brother that she doesn't have.
Right.
And
she values his
opinion. Totally.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, it's the second opportunity that Olajuwon has had an opportunity to talk to someone who means something to Katina, mm-hmm. and not listen to what they said.
Right. Kind of dismissing them.
Basically. That's
I already told you.
Of it.
Yeah.
That's from our observation, and I believe their observation, that they were being dismissed. This is me. This is me. Okay, well, you be you, but I'm letting you know that, Katina, but this is me. I'm like, well, okay, you still ain't heard what I was about to say about Katina. So he's got
a little chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, but he doesn't listen.
He's a little immature.
He's a lot immature.
Yeah.
He's a lot immature. He's young, but he has an immaturity in his youth.
Well, because he has lived his life to this point.
Only on his terms.
Exactly. From a selfish point of view. Mm-hmm. And so for him to go to Katina and say, I've already told you, I ain't going to let nobody, I ain't going to explain myself to nobody or whatever, that, again, that shows a level of immaturity in that you don't feel like you need to connect to people who mean something to her.
Exactly.
It's just all about me and you. That's it. Just me and you. No, you marry a family. You marry the friends, and you have to kind of pass muster with them as much as you need to pass, especially because you're a stranger. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody know you.
You get more of a package deal in this situation than you would normally.
Absolutely. So, that's going to be interesting. Like you said, a guy can read a guy.
Yeah.
So,
and Olajuwon was being read.
He was being read.
And he didn't like it.
Yeah. Lindsay and Mark. shared with each other their issues with their moms. Which made them feel good about their ability to kind of open up and be vulnerable. Her friends gave him a survival kit. Wow. But she liked that. And she thought that was cute.
Yeah.
And when she asked if I could use it, he pushed that button. No. You know.
And see, to me, that's the thing about Lindsay that I think a lot of people do not understand. She's at 100 and she's going to keep it real. And whatever you bring at her, she's going to look at it as being real. And she accepts it. Whatever it is, she accepts it. Now, whether she likes it or not, that's not even the issue. But she's going to allow you to be you. And I guess she looks at that in the same frame of how she feels people should see her. Not saying that she's right. She knows that she's a lot. But there's a way in which and she accepts the fact that everybody says you're going to need to reel her in.
Yeah.
She accepts the fact that
she knows the deal.
You're going to have to reel me in.
Now, she has one of those communication styles that is not exactly a mature communication style. She has a style where I can say anything that I want to whomever I want, however I want, and that's just me. That's not a mature communication style, okay? And it gets her in trouble, as we saw with the incident that happened.
Yeah, and we didn't even see
Katina and Olajuwon, and we don't know. Yeah. We don't know how she said what she said, but she doesn't have boundaries, and I think that she has to be checked. Mm-hmm. But there's a way to check somebody again that you don't know. You don't have to assume that she's attacking you personally. True. But, you can check somebody who has no filter and no boundary with what they say in a mature way. True. And I don't think that happened. Even though we didn't see how everything went down, we could just hear with Olajuwon's explanation that you just need to worry about your own husband. You don't need to be telling me about, Anyway, but she felt like Mark had her back, and he did. In a mature, nice way.
Right.
When he approached the group and apologized for the situation.
Exactly.
And, he was not, that was a way to handle it, to try to diffuse the issue.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's just, in my opinion, just being a man. She wasn't ready, but he knew that the situation had to be addressed and diffused in some shape, form, or fashion. So he took it upon himself to represent his wife and say, hey, sorry about the situation. You know how she is. I even know more of how she is. She's a 10, and everybody can't deal with a 10 all the time. But, it wasn't intentionally put out there to be offensive and to create this situation. And hopefully we can get past this, So, and to me, I think that's the most diplomatic thing that he could do for the group, as well as his wife, who wasn't there to speak for herself. Mm-hmm. So, I like Mark the Shark. He ain't just about teeth.
Right. Right. Jasmina and Michael ended up in a little tiff again. I think she's in her head about what his sisters told her about him.
Looking at the worst of a scenario.
Right.
Always thinking the worst.
Always thinking the worst. And that was a red flag for her.
And again, she's an optimistic personality, and I understand that.
And I do too, because I am too.
But I believe Jasmina had that in the back of her mind. Right? I don't even think it was in the back of her mind. I think it was in the forefront of her mind when they just got on the discussion of dealing with
Lindsay,
people.
Right?
Lindsay in that case, that situation.
And Michael's saying that people, when you don't know people, when you don't know somebody, you don't know the other person's boundaries, right? And because you don't know the other person's boundaries, you might be acting or saying something that you think is okay, not realizing that you are stepping over the other person's boundaries, which can then cause conflict. That's how he saw what happened between Lindsay and Olajuwon and Katina. Now, to me, there was nothing in that explanation that made it sound like he was expecting or looking at it from the worst.
Yeah, because you don't know somebody, you expect to have
Because what he said was true.
True, exactly. You don't know.
That's where the conflict comes from. When you don't know someone and don't know what their triggers are, you don't know what the... Not that he's expecting conflict, and that's where Jasmina took it. I don't go in a place expecting conflict because I'm a positive person. That's not what he was saying. All he was saying was that's how conflict can happen.
It really.
When you don't know somebody else's boundaries because you don't know them as a person.
And it's a misunderstanding. Okay?
And so they end up in a little tiff because she's reading more based on what
she was told.
What she was told
by somebody else.
Reading more into what he was saying than what he was actually saying.
Yeah. And I just want to, I don't know what it is, but I know that everybody listening right now and looking at us right now know that this has even gotten us on a level.
We're riled up, and this is only like day 3.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because I think a lot of these couples have good potential as couples, except for one. But they do have potential. And I think that, again, their communication styles will allow them to work through whatever misunderstanding they have of one another.
I hope so.
And you know,
otherwise we're gonna be tired, like before we even get halfway.
Y'all gonna be tired of us.
Before we even get halfway, we gonna be tired.
Because again, it's not about talking about the person; it's about the characteristics and the personalities
and the behavior.
Yeah, exactly.
The behaviors. Noi and Steve, their biggest red flag and issue is his joblessness.
Yeah, which is understandable under any circumstance.
You 38 years old.
Yeah. And
you can't tell me what your plan is for work. Now, her family was all over him.
His family.
No, her family.
Yeah.
Was all over him. The brother, sister? Sister, brother?
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Sriracha.
I mean, he's been on top of Steve.
From day one.
From day one.
From wedding day.
From the wedding day.
Yeah.
Yes. And, talking about his joblessness and what you planning to do and don't you think you need to be stable and when you going to have kids. I mean, he was just all in it.
And it's all legitimate.
Yeah.
It's all legitimate.
Her daddy didn't have to do any talking.
No.
Because Sriracha was doing all the talking.
Yeah,
and the sister.
Sriracha's accustomed to doing.
And then Mama was like, "I need some grandkids, so you need to get a job."
She wanted 10.
You need to get a job because I need some grandkids.
Job before a child.
Yeah. So when Noi asked him about it, when they were talking about what their family said, and he kind of deflected that a little bit. Well, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. And then cut away.
Because his daddy called him a vagabond.
Yeah.
Again, Daddy said he's a vagabond. He likes to travel. He likes his freedom.
I mean, again, the choice of words. These people who are supposed to be in your corner,
exactly,
giving, a little enlightenment to, the character you are.
Mercy.
Hey.
They scaring everybody.
Really? Exactly.
They're scaring everybody.
I mean, because to me, first thing that comes to mind, and again, it might be because I'm older, but him being unemployed, he evidently had enough of a cushion or foundation to be able to take 4 months off and travel and do what he wanted to do, knowing that he was going into this situation. So who's to know that with his freelancing that he doesn't intend to make that a business into it on his own?
I freelance.
Really?
It's a stable thing.
Starting my own business. I mean, so
But we'll see. I mean,
Communication.
they have to talk it out, and hopefully he will he'll calm her nerves
Her
down
concerns.
when it comes to him and stability. So that will definitely be
I hope.
yeah. Okay. The last couple.
The last two. They're not a couple.
We have the new villain for the season. This is last season's Mirla. This is the prior season's Chris. This, I mean, we've seen this type of person in every season. And so here we are with Alyssa, who doesn't want to be. I don't even know why she said yes. Why did she say yes
why did
to
she
getting
even get
married?
Involved into this?
Why? And why did the experts think that she was a great person? Because she rescues dogs. And why do we know why they were matched? Mainly because of drama. And the drama ensued from the very beginning. And she has been Miss Drama from that point on. She doesn't want to be there. She doesn't even pretend to, and yet she's projecting all of that onto him.
Yeah.
Like
he did something.
Like he did something. And of course he's like, what did I do? I was only with her for 40 minutes.
Really?
I thought it was pretty good. She got mad that he told on her to her mama and her best friend.
Well, she disappeared on me, so I don't know where your
She
daughter
sees
is.
that as being disrespectful because he was being honest, even though he didn't really say anything other than we didn't spend the night together. She didn't want to be with me. I don't understand what happened. She says we're not compatible. And in her mind, you're disrespecting me because you answered my mother's question. You answered my best friend's question. She got called out and she got mad. Basically.
Yeah.
And she's acting witchy.
I don't know.
Because it's all about her. She doesn't think he's attractive. So as far as she's concerned, there's no vibe. We're not compatible. We have too many differences.
Differences. You met somebody for less than 18 hours and you have so many differences.
You know all about him.
The rest of life.
To where you're not compatible.
Be in the same room.
Yeah. I mean, it's so palpably evident that she does not want to be there. Yeah. So I had to break out the book. I didn't think we'd have to break it out this soon. But I'm breaking out the book. Because Alyssa seems to think that compatibility means you're the same.
No. Every individual is different.
And we have a tip in here that says oneness in harmony is not sameness. Okay? It's not being the same. Compatibility is not being the same. Compatibility means there is enough of commonalities that you can create a bond. But instead of giving even 5 minutes to that, she took everything that his friend said, the negatives that his friend said, and she has created him
to being
in this negative perception that she feels gives her the license to pass judgment on who he is and dismiss him.
Yeah. 3 friends having maybe all of 45 minutes, maybe, discussing who this individual is that she just married, that she decided to marry. And she's going to form an opinion and a judgment on his whole character. And there's no way that we can be together.
Not talk to him about it.
Nothing.
Just gone. Yeah. Until she finally did. And he's still like, what did I say? What did I do? Nothing.
Really?
You've done nothing. Now, when we look at the very first couple in the first season, where attractiveness was the issue as well with Jamie and Doug, she was not attracted to him. At all. She was highly disappointed.
She broke down.
She broke down crying. And I just kind of want to end by looking at the differences between the two couples and how things are handled. Right? So Jamie didn't have Doug's friends tell her all the bad stuff about him.
That was one thing.
Okay. So they didn't scare her off. Her sister said, give him a chance. You don't know him.
Exactly.
Okay? And
her mother is under the impression that he's a great guy.
As you mean Alyssa's mother. Yes. And the friend said
exactly.
He is who she needs. Okay? But then I look at how Doug handled Jamie and how Chris is handling Alyssa. Now, Chris has every right to be frustrated and annoyed as heck.
And he is.
But when I compared the two of them, Doug didn't push.
Yeah.
He didn't accuse. He didn't make her feel bad. Mm-hmm. He was really chilled and patient and was like, I'm going to win her over with just being me. Nice and being funny, showing her who he was. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Chris can't do that.
No, he wants to find out why. Because he feels blindsided. I get it. And I believe that Doug, because it was instantaneous, he realized there was something there. She didn't like the way I looked, whatever the case may be. Doug, not a bad looking guy, just maybe not the expectation or not the desired look. He dealt with that. He accepted whatever it was, and we're still going to get through this. And kudos to him. They are still together today.
And they've had their rough spots, and he's had, times when he wanted to check out too. But I'm talking about the initial way that he handled
communication
Jamie
style
and that issue is what I wish
Chris could understand.
Do. Yeah. But granted, Alyssa's not giving him any.
Yeah. Do you think it would work?
What do you mean?
If Alyssa had a Doug.
I don't know, because Alyssa's not Jamie either.
No, exactly.
Y'all, it's going to be hard for me not to talk about her.
Because we don't talk about people.
Well, I try my best not to talk about people, especially because we know this is a produced series and we know that it's an edited series now. But the general attitude that she's coming across with, this is why she's single. This is why she's been single. And when her friends say she's been really picky with men, it's because she expects them to be who she wants them to be. Yeah. And she's so rigid that she needs to be by herself. She's another Mirla. She needs to be by herself. Because I don't know any guy that's going to put up with that.
No, he does not exist.
Yeah. So, no hope for the two of them. But hey, we're just in day 3. And here we are. So, we'll see what happens. But like I said, if we start getting too tired before even halfway, I don't know. Wow. It might not be fun to watch us do these recaps because it's kind of it's just the same. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. But we're going to try. We're going to try to, share our opinions and insights from our experience. Mm-hmm. And hopefully you'll get something out of it. So we look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, stay safe. We're all negative now. Yay! So we're back on track. And I
can go back to work.
Oh, boo. But no, we need your check. So, yay. No. But you guys stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you here next week. Peace.
Enjoy.